So we're looking forward to seeing how things continue to move on in the next 3 weekends. Great coverage, good content coming at you here for Competitive Heroes in Neuwirth. Obviously, one of these 8 teams joining Sync Esports to represent the North American European region in Thailand for the World Finals coming up here. Could not be more excited. I really am. And yesterday definitely had some good matches in terms of kicking it off and some fun results there. In the end, it's safe to say all the expected or the higher seeded teams did advance on. You take a look at the brackets right here and how they've moved on. You got Complexity and Fresh moving on. They'll face each other in their semifinal matchup next weekend. You got Evil Corporation and Bad Monkey Gaming also moving on. As far as the teams on the losing end of those matchups they're going to be playing today in what are elimination matches. You lose today, you are done here in the playoffs, this being the double elimination tournament, of course. So our first matchup that we're kicking it off with is, of course, Polymorph versus Team Druids here in this best-of-3 series. So looking forward to it. It's a good hot head, I'm sure. We're already flying through this draft, though, so let's, before I get into it, though, of course, I got to introduce my co-caster here today. And I'm going to be joined by one of the players here of this event of Evil Corporation. I'm joined by Near. Near, how's it going, man?
That's going great. I mean, fortunate enough to not be playing today, so that's good. And, I can be here with you casting instead.
That's true. Yeah, you guys, of course, winning yesterday. You guys defeated Wapdash over there. And, we actually looked at that series. Obviously, we didn't end up casting that series. But just even looking at the stats, it seemed like you guys had a pretty good time. A fairly quicker 2-0 series there against Wapdash.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You felt pretty good in that series?
Yeah, also good series, but we weren't really pressured, I think, into thinking we could lose at any point, really. We were just doing our thing, keeping track of, or I was keeping track of where they were, their strategies. Spent 30 minutes checking out how he worded and stuff like that, prepared a bit, so that definitely helped and contributed into a quicker win than some people might have expected.
Yeah, no, that was great to see, though. And again, you guys, as you pointed out, you get today off here, get a rest until next weekend now. So as far as the team's playing, again, Fresh versus Druids here. We got this draft already kicking off, so let's start getting into it, see what's playing out here. We have the initial bands: Parallax, Lodestone, Deadlift, and Magnus. Parallax really starting to make some appearances here. Parasite into Midas, Behemoth into Lord South Forest, Monarch into Oogie coming out. So what are you looking at, though, with these drafts here so far, Near?
Yeah, it's pretty standard. I'm surprised by the Parasite first pick here, but it's definitely a strong jungler. They haven't decided to punish it with something like Glacier's pickup or anything. But a lot of, they have the Behemoth on the Legion side with the Monarch as well, so a lot of defensive lineup so far with of course, a lot of counter initiation they can pull out off there. But then again, Hellborn picks up 3 really strong heroes. Midas definitely a strong follow-up stun hero. Sulfuris also very strong tanky hero on top of the burst he provides. And the same thing with Oogie, you could say. So strong heroes over there, but they still need some setup stuns. And, wow, Scout carry here. Usually you see that against something that's not Oogie because he can deal damage even if he's disarmed. So the disarm is not that effectful. Of course, the silence goes through something like a shrunken head, so a 6-second silent might interrupt Oogie for a long time. I think that might be what they're looking for with that carry pickup.
Yeah, it is an interesting idea, though, as you're pointing out, that disarm really is a solid strength of Scout, and, not that it's not going to be useful. I mean, it still provides the burst damage, and still in general solid, but, yeah, not being the carry that you figure would be, it's really relying on that right click. So, interesting choice, but the silence, no doubt, also going to be a good effect here. I want to go back to the Parallax real quick. I mean, the first ban, Parallax, actually banned by Druids. We actually got the chance to even see it yesterday in one of the series that we were casting. I mean, we've seen it, obviously. Other teams play it. Who am I? I'm blanking on. Fresh now. Fresh actually, showed that they played here. Sync even picked it up. What's it do with Parallax? Like, where is he coming from, you think?
Yeah, it's a strong hero. I think it's in a good place. I don't think it's personally that first ban worthy. I think it's a strong hero in certain situations. But these teams here, like I know Polymorph, Druids, I think also Wapdash, I mean, they've been playing a lot of it, and it seems to always do well. So I can understand they pick it out if they're scared, especially it deals a lot of AoE magic damage in those team fights, and it's kind of consistent. Mm-hmm. So that's what I can understand they're taking it out. It's been owning lately, honestly.
Yeah. It definitely has been having some solid performances, no doubt. So, band here again. You got Voodoo Jester, the response support here, coming out for Polymorph. Voodoo Gesture, not a typical support, but do you like it here?
I think it's okay. I mean, you're against the Parasite, so usually picking up something like a Voodoo just or Glacius, it's kind of go-to support. So I think that's also why they're doing it. I don't think he will get a lot of use of the Cursed Ground because it kind of gets nullified by the Chrysalis from Monarch, if Monarch is nearby, of course. But maybe it will still work out. They still need a line stun or initiate stun. The right-clicking Pestilence, I'm not sure they're going to go for that. But
yeah. Pestilence does not seem like he would fit with this lineup, honestly. I mean, being the physical presence, it's like not a whole lot of physical presence. Okay, they're gonna go it. So, and the immediate ready up right there. This is getting at though. I assume you'd agree. I mean, it really is kind of funky as far as they don't have another. Their carries of old magic damage, so it seems a little odd to me.
Yeah, it is a bit odd, but I think to give them it is the last pick, and a lot of initiators have been banned or picked right now, and I think it's the best blink stun available. So looking away from the ultimate, I think that's what they're going for, simply the best blink stun. But they need a lot of farm early on. Pestilence needs the blink first, and he's not that useful in the lane. Midas also, he kind of just needs the levels. Oogie needs the farm, of course, and Sulfuris needs some time to build up his farm and be a threat. So they need a lot of farm until Pestilence has the blink. I don't expect to see a lot of action out of the Hellpoint side early on.
Yeah, no, that's going to be something. I mean, Pestilence, definitely a hero that I love to even play myself in. I love seeing, way back in the day, but one that really has died off for the longest time now. So, as you're getting at, though, a solid initiator AoE stunner, I mean, that's definitely a strength of his for sure. But, yeah, you're pointing out needing to get that portal key, maybe not necessarily the easiest, and again, the synergy of the Swarm. It's still going to be a solid ability, and yes, there is the scout, so the idea that you swarm him and he can't go invis then after that fact, at least effectively. But still, really, it's still, I don't know. I mean, I guess there are definitely good benefits, but the idea that it's not really having the synergy, unfortunately, with your hard carry of being the right-click carry is, I guess, almost unfortunate. But there are some positives, so.
With that said, if they start snowballing just a little bit after he gets a portal key and stuff like that, they have a really good team to chase down people. Sulfuris is almost hasted. The Pestilence gets the haste from the flight ability, and Midas is going to have the Immense Warp on top of a blink too. So they can really chase down people if they get slightly ahead. They can really secure the game.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so we'll see how that works for them. Again, Mr. Trumpsto, the one playing it here for Polymorph, the pick and then the immediate ready up with it, so clearly confident to go with it. Deadwood here, by the way, kind of looked over that a little bit, but the final pick for Druids on the other side of things. On their side, of course, another solid initiator, the solo burster kind of target, I guess. Makes sense against the Oogie. You jump on him, you ulti him, and obviously can set up some nice burst onto him. So, do you like the Deadwood pickup here?
Yeah, I think it's okay. I don't know if they can burst him down that fast as they want to, but they can definitely try. Maybe with something like a puzzle box, the Mauler from Parasite being able to hit him down too. They should be able to. And they have the silence from Scout, so they can make sure that he's not dealing that much damage to them for a while. So they definitely have the heroes, but at the same time, if they manage to burst him down, use the Deadwood ultimate, use the Parasite ulti, Scout auto attacks, then they don't have much else for Sulfuris or Pestilence or the Midas even. So it's going to be I'm a little bit worried if they have enough damage, but of course they have the Behemoth, so that's a hero that can really deal damage if the opposing side is baited into a group where you can really utilize that shockwave.
Yeah. All right, so I'll get the typical pause here to set things up. It looks like maybe setting up that Discord there and going to be good to go. Of course, want to make sure it's all working here, because once again, this isn't an elimination match. You lose this, it has all come to an end here of what's overall been a great season, of course, but again, one of these 8 teams advancing on to those World Finals, so this will be the end of the journey for 2 of these teams here in the losers bracket. Of course, the other match later today will be that Wapdash versus Reason Gaming that obviously we're going to be getting to casting in the later portion of today. It's set for 3 p.m. Eastern, 2100 Central European time there, so definitely some good Han once again set up to happen right here. So got Oki. Okay, we're ready, he says. Yeah, kind of probably want him back in the game. Wait, is he back? Oh, he is gonna. Okay, thought I might have had a bug for a second, but nope, he's coming back in. Okay. All right, so they got Voodoo Jester. You know, we're talking about that too. Again, the idea of Parasite can be decent against him, of course, and so it kind of makes sense there.
I think also a bit about the lanes here. The Legion side is kind of clear cut. It's Monarch Scout bottom probably, and the Deadwood is going to be mid, and the Behemoth Suicide, that's what you would expect. They don't have many options of doing any kind of tri-lanes or offensive or anything. Like the heroes are kind of, they need levels and before they can really start being good.
Totally amped for this.
Maybe, I'm not sure what they will do on hill point, but Monarch is not a strong lane support, so if they want to, they could go bottom with a couple heroes. And, they can definitely block some Parasite camps. They definitely have the stronger level 1, in my opinion.
We'll see if they take advantage of that. Seems like they're headed in that direction at least, although several are going towards the middle lane. Instead, Ogi with the boots here. I assume he's going to be selling those unless...
Yeah.
Okay. Sells those. I'm going to be purchasing else or something else here as they're setting up around Concord.
Yeah, I'm watching with that too. It's kind of weird. Maybe they're just trying to find a kill here. And Monarch's going to spot them out.
Yep. Trying to be sneaky, but in the end, unfortunately, are going to be spotted. So instead, we'll have to just go about blocking the camps, pointing out there. See Parasite going to fall back, but again, going to realize this. He already has a Rev Ward to try to counter any block attempts here. See if he's going to be successful with it or not. As, there's a Ward aside already placed. Over here at the left camp.
The thing about the Void is he might be able to see it, but I think he's not going to be able to get to it unless someone eats a tree over there. So it's going to be an issue for him. Maybe Monarch is going to get the Rev for it and go for it. This is a really good job from Hillpoint. They have the stronger level 1, they're able to do this and nerf the Parasite. And actually, it looks like he's already going to switch. So if they can keep him out from the top jungle, and maybe Monarch is going to, or the Buddha Jester is going to block his own camp up here, the big one. Parasite is not in a good spot, also because of that cask lasting for 5 seconds and stun on creeps. So he's really not going to be able to do much. And, it's successful from Druid, or from Polymorph so far.
Yeah. Definitely here as far as blocking out the Parasite. I'm really trying to lock down Pexu. Pexu, of course, very solid jungler on the competitive scene nowadays, and a name that we've come to recognize pretty well. Of course, the captain currently of Team Druids here in these playoffs. So you see going on the uphill right here. Again, Druids yesterday, they were, we casted their series against Fresh right there. I mean, they were close to upsetting Fresh. It went to the Game 3 and all the way to the wire, really. I mean, they definitely could have won that Game 3 in the end. So this is a team with a lot of potential themselves here and a lot to continue to prove, I'm sure, moving forward. So
I think, honestly, nerfs hit them in that last game because they had that on the draft and the team fights, but they just had some awful initiations in the later stages that really cost them that game because they had it, honestly.
Yeah.
But also unfortunate, but I think the nerfs got to them and the pressure. And, well, they can learn from it, and here they are today, performing again.
The point is, they are still in it, and here they are competing against a very solid team of Polymorph, though. So, Parasite, you see, harassing Lord Salfor is here off the bat, but quickly going to be boxed out by Voodoo Jester and forced to run the other direction. So, does get level 2, but is being pushed out, and we'll see now. Once again, he's going to rotate back to his own, or if he goes back into the Hellborn jungle even. But looks like he is heading back towards the Hellborn, so going to continue to be a nuisance over there. Try to cause some issues for the Lord Salforus, but not necessarily an easy task there for him. So yeah, the jungle interaction going to continue to be pretty entertaining here. But we do have, oh, Salforus chasing on Parasite. No, he's fine. The middle lane, Deadwood versus Pestilence. Interesting matchup here. I mean, Deadwood notorious for being a very heavy hitter, of course.
Yeah.
Very good last hitter. But Pestilence, you know, it's got solid, especially with some procs on that Gore can help, and some kill potential if he has the assistance, of course. So, you think Deadwood should win this lane, though?
Yeah, he should, for sure. And Mr. Trump is a pretty solid player himself, so he's actually doing a good job, actually, at 11 CS, but Deadwood should be able to crush a Pestilence. Just, I mean, look at the auto attack damage, 60 from Pestilence and 90 from Deadwood. It's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, that's pretty insane for the laning phase.
Yeah.
But the advantage for SDST, see right there, the Rotten Grass just really harassing here. Going to keep the pressure on Pestilence. Pestilence, by the way, did get the bottle here as well, so both sides having that.
Yep.
And going to take advantage of extra harassment, I'm sure. Again, that flight ability, it's pretty strong. It's almost like a 1-point wonder ability as well. Get that 10 movement speed for the static duration of 25 seconds, but eventually leveling it up, of course, is nice, but even the 1 point helps quite a bit. As Behemoth, he's going to be fine at the top lane.
Yeah,
heavy pressure.
That was pretty close. And actually, Parasite did counter ward, not the best. Did counter ward the right camp here, but there were 2 wards in that one, so Parasite is really struggling still, as we already mentioned. But he still has no camps available to him. That's unfortunate. So he's gonna have to jungle the medium camps. The Scout is coming over, so finally he's gonna have that one. That's really good, because if he rotates mid into a Deadwood Grasp, I think that's a kill on Pestilence.
We'll see again if that's if and when that's going to be happening. Voodoo Jester, though, coming in the middle lane. You see the Rotten Grass coming out. Pestilence actually falling back, choosing not to dive. Interesting.
Yeah, I think if he was caught in the grasp, I don't think they would have had it, but it depends if he could have been able to land the stun. It's only a level 1 curse ground, so it almost deals no damage. But plays it safe.
Man, I feel like a lot of players would have really gone for that, but yeah, really just gauging that it just wasn't going to be enough, so why even waste the mana even going for it? I mean, a level 3 W, he had at the time, I'm pretty sure, level 3 Impale, so.
Yeah, I mean, with a lucky bash too, I mean, 25% chance, they could have gotten it, for sure, but it's risky still, and I think that's also the downside of the Voodoo Jester, it's that acid cocktail. It does take a lot of time to land onto your target, if they see it coming.
They get time to react in terms of running away to a bad position if you do follow up on them. So you see, again, he's continually going up. It continues to be very close here. I mean, Deadwood's sitting at half life currently, so see if he's able to take advantage of that or not. But he's using some bottle charges, going to be back up and good to go. But level 6, a little more impactful for Deadwood here as far as having the kill chance, no doubt. So Pestilence going to have to be a little worried about that when that timing does come here. But there are other lanes, both the bottom and the top lanes. The carries are performing as expected, it seems like. Both Oogie and Scout are essentially having their free farm here.
Yeah.
It's working.
Both sitting at almost the same CS here. Scout does go for the Steam Boots. Sometimes people prefer the Ghost Marches, but once the extra bit of HP you can get from that, that's definitely reasonable. Also, the auto attack damage is fine. Uki on the other hand, I think still Icon of the Goddess is, or Gnome's Wisdom into Icon, or something like that. Mana Ring first and then Icon of the Goddess seems to be the go-to on this hero.
Yeah, definitely would expect that. And yeah, the Gnome's Wisdom, the nice thing about that too is the eventual Sheep Stick. You get the Acolyte Staff, it actually makes the Jade Spire, and you can use that in the meantime while you're then trying to finish a Sheep Stick, we've seen many times before. So yeah, really solid build-ups for sure on Oogie as far as the hero's concerned. Things like the Ring of Sorcery and the Icon as well, so.
Yeah. Deadwood did pick up a haste on the bottom here, the bottom side. I'm a bit surprised he's not actually going for the kill on Midas here. I think he could just haste after him. Midas is low on HP. Or on mana, I mean.
Well, they tried to make a play on a Pestilence here in the middle lane, but he just simply walked away, and the Fissure Stun came a little late. So it really was no chance after that. So yeah, Pestilence going to be fine. He will go back to base and get some more bottle charges here, but Deadwood continues to farm away in the meantime in the middle lane with that haste as you talked about. But yeah, he's not going to really make a play with it in the end. And he did try, but came up short here against the Pestilence. So Pestilence now comes back to the middle and going to continue to farm here once again. Going to apply that Swarm. That's another fun thing about the Swarm ability. He's even going putting some pressure out right here. A lot of damage, man. Yeah, it's minus 6 armor here at level 1, so quite a bit.
Oh, that's a lot. And actually deals a ton of damage to Deadwood, so it's actually a little bit amazing that he's the one who has to play passive now.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't the Impale used to be magic damage as well, so wasn't as much synergy with the ultimate, I think, so.
I don't think so. I think it's always been physical.
Okay. You're wrong on that.
I think so.
Or maybe it was the E then. I could have sworn one of these abilities used to be magical damage, and I always found that
could
funny.
have been. I'm not sure about that one, but I'm pretty sure the Impale has always been physical.
Okay.
So it adds with the ultimate if need be.
Yeah, that obviously, yeah.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay. But anyways, the point it is physical, both the Impale as well as the Gore here. And so obviously great synergy with that Swarm of Physics. -6 armor even at level 1, all the way up to -18 armor at level 3. I mean, that is absurd. And not doubting the potential of how much that can provide. And every hero does auto-attack in the end, really. So it's, yes, not necessarily the right-click hero like an Oogie, but he still will be auto-attacking every now and then and taking advantage of that minus armor too. So still has benefits. And yeah, I see more and more people bringing it up, and that is true. Again, the scout counter aspect that it brings, it is solid for sure. So I am kind of seeing a little more why perhaps they went the Pestilence pickup here. And he's doing pretty well considering the circumstances. I mean, he's actually out-farming GPM-wise Deadwood right now.
Yeah.
Just over 300.
I'm surprised by that. Yeah. But, all I can say is good job, honestly.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be happening, but it is. So I guess at this stage, the mid lane is kind of where you have to play careful because people usually rotate over and sit behind the mid lane or try to gank. As we see, Behemoth is sitting behind the Pestilence and Midas is sitting behind the... Or, yeah, vice versa. Midas is sitting behind Pestilence. So always a lot of people mid at this time of the game, so this is kind of where the trade-offs start to happen.
Yeah. Pretty passive game as far as no kills yet, now 9 minutes in, so Bloodlust kill is still up for bounty here. For either side here. Gonna be upwards of 10 minutes even before we see it at this rate. So definitely both sides. It's again not due to lack of trying necessarily. We've seen some attempts here, especially in the middle lane. We're gonna see that right here once again. Oh, the Impale came up just short. Good job by Deadwood avoiding it, if anything, and he sets up the kill on a Pestilence there. So it eventually comes just pre-10 minutes here of Bloodlust for Deadwood.
Dude.
Yeah. He tried to like make it look like he was going in and then sidestep the stun at the last second. So good job.
Yeah, nice bait out right there of that Impale. And Self-Force will make his play here in the middle lane, at least kind of box out Devitt a little bit. Obviously knows that he doesn't have that Falcon Punch now for the next 66 seconds here in counting, so not as scary anymore, but still the Bloodlust kill, big for Devitt, and now he does get ahead here of the Pestilence. But while that's all happening middle lane, we definitely cannot forget about the side lanes, and specifically Oogie. Holy crap, nearly 500 gold per minute all of a sudden for Chaos Master up here, and he's going Nullstone actually.
The Legion Phrase destroyed
I'm not too sure.
Tower.
I don't think it's the best item in this game. You're still gonna be silenced by Scout. Behemoth doesn't care at all. Deadwood is just gonna throw the Oak Bolt and then ulti you. I guess you can prevent a Monarch Q or a Parasite slower ulti, but that's kind of it. Bottom river.
Yep, they get Deadwood over here. First kill. Yep, the Undying will take him down. So they do set up a kill and tie it up at 1 apiece here as far as hero kills is concerned. But yeah, it is a curious choice, no doubt, here on Oogie. That the Nullstone, it doesn't seem like there's that high impact ability, the obvious one of like, okay, well, like a Sand Wraith, for example, you know, the global aspect of anything. But
or Mana Rift or something. That's not really anything. So a bit surprising to me that he's doing this, but nonetheless, he's doing a good job of farming almost 500 GPM sitting on top. Scout has been missing a couple creeps down bottom here, and but he is approaching the Rune Cleaver mark, and when he has that, he will probably tie the GPM score.
Pestilence! No, he cannot get away. Activated the Swarm. I thought that there might have been a chance at the last second, but just not enough. So Parasite and Deadwood doing work. And it seems like obviously now that the levels have really started to add up here, it's the impact here, this middle lane really starting to kick in. So, but noticing here, I mean, it's the action's keeping around this middle lane. I mean, both the carries once again are just continuing to do what they want, it seems like. And Scout and Oogie, now as I say this, Oogie all of a sudden ports bottom and is starting to chase back Scout down here. So I'm not sure exactly what the plan was. Maybe Ancients? No, there's only a single set. So, and actually they're even blocked here with the Wardus side. So Oogie, maybe a little bit of wasted time it feels like, but yeah, we'll take out the Ancients at least. Attempt to do them here.
I mean, the top lane is pushed, and Behemoth is really enjoying this. He's been static farming for quite a while now, up to 40 CS, and that's pretty good. He's gonna have that blink soon, and I think that might catch Polymorph off guard.
Yeah.
Because he just has to. He has this free farm. Usually, you don't have this this much free farm. You usually pull the lane up here, or you try and set up a kill on him. But they're not doing that right now.
I wonder if I guess Trump Street probably just had this crushing claw from the beginning right here, but I'm trying to think if maybe he was going for something like even what is that item even called? The Soul Well, I think. Yeah, or Soul Trap ability or Soul Trap item, excuse me. What a couple crushing claws in the pattern there, but I mean it's probably just again left over from the early game here, but
yeah, I think so. I don't think anyone's going to pick up a Soul Trap or per se an Astrolabe with something else.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, so don't want to look too much into that. Yeah, I'm sure Portal Key is ideally where he's going next now. He's got a little bit of build up here with that power supply, the bottle, and of course the full steam boots. But yeah, probably going to be next in line. Mentioned Deadwood, he should have it here after this creep clear of the jungle, so that's going to be a Portal Key on Deadwood now. The Rune Cleaver is still not finished on Scout. I thought he would have had it by now, to be honest, but I guess he needs he needs one more broadsword, so he's just about there.
Yep. Deadwood has his Portal Key now. Behemoth, if he kills a big camp over here, he would have it after that. So, yeah, maybe some action is going to happen soon. Probably on this Pestilence still here, because he's still lacking in the Portal Key appointment.
Who's purple by that? I just realized. Who's Teach? Who is this? I don't recognize this name. The
Teach.
Player.
Oh, that's right.
Who's usually their carry? It's Ula, right? Yeah, Ula's usually their carry. So is that just another account of his or something?
Maybe it's just his account and he just changed the name.
Okay.
I will say the last one was pretty hard to pronounce. I mean,
yeah,
he's Ula, but it was something.
It was FBDN or something like that with a lot of letters. Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, he's changes names, I guess. I don't know. That kind of just hit me though. I just noticed that with the names down there, but well, Teach is a little easier. That's for sure.
Dude,
Trying to look at the stats here. It seems he just changed the name here. He's named Teach in the last ones too. So yeah, name changed.
All right. Well, we're gonna assume that is Ula. Anyways, you see the bottom tower going down. The full push coming out here from Polymorph as a team, and accomplishing that pretty well. Post Haste just purchased on Oogie as well. So really, very heavy kind of farm build here with an Nullstone into Post Haste. Really, map control even.
The two pushes are happening now, and I think the Hellborn needs to be careful and realize they cannot defend top, and they're actually going for the tier 2 bottom, so I think they should let top go and just take that, not try and set up anything. It seems like what they're doing, because Behemoth, you don't want to TP into Behemoth and Deadwood.
Damage Lord Self-Force helps. And that will be another tower kill. So I mean, we're 15.5 minutes in. It's still that 2-to-1 hero kill. Again, it took nearly 10 minutes to get a Bloodlust kill. I gotta say, looking at these lineups, more so on the Legion side, definitely did not expect a very passive game here early on. But I mean, that's definitely what we're having. You got Scout, he's got the Rune Cleaver finish. He is going to start falling back here as looks like Oogie's the one that ports in there. But yeah, I mean, Deadwood now with a Portal Key, he's level 11. He is really starting to move around here. Again, it doesn't feel like it's due to the lack of really big activity. It's just they haven't found the opportunities at this point.
Monarch has done a good job of warding the big old top lane.
Yeah, they are going top. Behemoth with that new Portal Key trying to jump Oogie, but there goes the Primal Surge. Guess what? It doesn't matter. The burst is too much, and he goes down anyways. Deadwood, meanwhile, he says, I'm going to take somebody with me. Unfortunately, not going to happen. Despite the will to make it right there. Monarch also gets picked off. And a 3-for-1 exchange right there in favor of Polymorph, actually. So, despite the jump from Druids, they went a little too deep. I mean, they killed Oogie, but came at the cost of 3 lives. I don't know if that's worth it.
Yeah. Seeing as he's not the only carry in this game, it's probably not worth it. So, Force is also a threat. But this is what I mean, that the Pestilence can just chase you down. They have trouble getting out after getting the kill. But the good thing for them is that their 2 carries, per se, died. The Initiators have what they need at this point, so having Scout and Parasite survive to get some more farm going, it's definitely the best heroes to survive a team fight, if they only had to pick 2. But yeah, Polymorph coming out ahead slightly.
Yeah, feeling good after that one. You do see Gnome's Wisdom is now purchased by Oogie here, so Obviously, it definitely is just a great item to have in general. Both you and I would agree there, and now he has that himself, so going to help the cause here moving forward. The puzzle box of Parasite, by the way, I believe is got to be level 3 by now. It's level 2, but I think level 3 is coming out here, so.
Yeah, he's been doing a really good recovery so far. He's only 1-0-1, so he's been doing what he had, or working with what he had. And puzzle box level 3 at 18 minutes with all your camps blocked. That's pretty good.
Not too shabby at all for Pexu here. Accomplishing very well here, second best on the team. You see Scout though, man, 515 gold per minute, so he really has jumped up as getting that Rune Cleaver. Again, he was well over 400 before the Rune Cleaver, so it makes sense that he's able to do so well. Pestilence gets caught, by the way. Pestilence did get his portal key recently. Unfortunately, I don't know if that was him trying to use it or if he just got caught trying, but he dies, as we see. And STST, he's definitely been owning Pestilence now as far as getting hero kills on him. I think all 3 of his kills even probably are on Pestilence, so.
I think so too, yeah.
Had a good time with him in that sense.
Yep, definitely. I'm not sure what he was doing over there by himself. Maybe he was trying to put a ward down at the shop, but good catch from Deadwood. And Monarch.
Yeah, not sure what the plan here was Monarch, but this is what you talked about, the Chrysalis. It's almost like a counter to Curse Ground. Not so much, though. When you have Undying on you, that doesn't help.
I guess Undying on plus Curse Ground, I mean, that's pretty powerful.
That's a really strong combo, actually.
Strong combo, I didn't think of that. But, yeah, well played. Usually you get away from that kind of things on Monarch. I think it's the only support.
Oh, well, top lane, double damage Pestilence. That's obviously a lot of damage he does, especially with that swarm up. So, looks like he finds Maximilian up here on that behemoth. Kind of push
Gets
it up.
a little bit of payback, and that's pretty good for him. Gets above the 300 GPM again. But, maybe he's looking for a shrunken head where he can survive these fights.
Dude, Hellborn
There's the tower kill there. Speaking of shrunken, you got Scout picking one up himself, but. Yeah, you get a shrunken head on Pestilence as well to go with this portal key. It really does come together nicely. Allows this hero to kind of move, again, especially with that the flight ability, be able to fly around, be mobile, get some gore procs off, set up the impels very easily, and chase down with the swarm debuff. Now, I think he just purchased the attack speed item. God, I'm blanking on names here today. What the hell's the new attack speed item? the 1200 Alacrity Band. So.
Pestilence did?
Yeah.
Okay, oh, he's going for ultimate spawns then.
Okay, that makes sense then, okay.
Has to be the only thing I believe that's really relevant. He's against the Parasite, so I believe that's Invis and the Veiled Rod interaction here.
Oh man. Nope, now they can see him, pops out. Look at this Pestilence. Oh, he just ran off the flight. Now he won't get the stun on Behemoth. But, man, that flight running off, I think, caused a little bit of an issue there. Now, Lord Salforce, however, he has a Frostful Skull. He's pretty tanky. And there comes a Shockwave in the background. Midas and Voodoo Jester both caught by it, but they stay alive. Meanwhile, over here, Oogie, he's still alive. Primal Surge is up. He's trying to survive through this. Does have that nose whistle as well. Turning on a Parasite. One more Tarquake. It is going to be enough for that kill. And Oogie doing Oogie things. Barely staying alive, setting up turn kills, and he gets the kill on a Monarch on top of that. A double tap for Chaos Master. Scout is well out of that fight. But a 4-for-1 exchange, Midas the only one to fall for Polymorph right there. Definitely an exchange that Polymorph wins here.
Yeah, for sure. The thing about Oogie and Sulfuris is if you don't burst them down, they have so much lifesteal and health regen potential. So what they did there was they went on a lot of different heroes and they didn't focus down one target. I think Oogie almost killed himself onto a Mauler and ran away with 500 HP. At the same time, Behemoth he went on to, I think it was Voodoo Jester and Midas in the background. They got them to 40% health and then they just ran away. So they need to focus target better because they are lacking damage. Scout was not in the mix of that from the get-go. If he was, I think he could have picked up the kill onto the Oogie right away and then they could have continued onto the ones he initiated on. So a bit better coordination and they lack damage, honestly, on Legion. And Polymorph comes out ahead.
Yeah, no, very, very dominating fight for Polymorph in the end after it seemed like that. Yeah, Drew has really had a solid jump right there. But as pointing out, the turn potential is definitely real in multiple ways. And it showed there in that fight. And yeah, you mentioned Oogie, of course, that hard carry. South Forest has that carry potential himself. Pestilence, definitely another hero that honestly can definitely bring some carry presence as well. With the minus 18 armor, the Gore proc's working. eventually gets something like a demonic breastplate to go with a shrunken head by the late game. I mean, those 2 items alone allow him to actually be putting out a lot of damage on specific targets. So yeah, this is really a tri-core lineup in a sense for Polymorph here. So they're going to scale very well is the point that I'm making here. So Druids being down now by 5,200 gold and 5,000 experience at 22.5 minutes. Not the best feeling to have, but Scout does remain on top of Farm overall at least. In this game. But what does he go next here, you think? I mean, he's got the core and the Shrunken and the Rune Cleaver, but what's his choice here?
He definitely needs some damage. If they are looking to fight right now, the Shield Breaker is the best option. If they're not, something else like a Savage or even onto something like a Wing Bow might not be enough damage, but it does look like he's going for the Shield Breaker, so they're looking to fight.
They're trying to find somebody. The Veiled Rot out. You see the Rev 4 goes down. Of course, you can't see the Veiled Rot, but I think Scout might just be... Yeah, he's just a typical Invis, of course. So he's going to open in the middle lane anyways and act like he's just farming. No one's around. Trying to maybe bait out some kind of jump right here, but doesn't seem like that Polymorph is too interested just yet, at least. However, look at over here. Parasite moving along. Oh, man. Oogie just got out of the jungle in time. Going to be fine for now, but they see him middle now. He does have a Jade Spire, by the way, so as we were talking about earlier. Could break that up into a Sheep Stick eventually here, I'm sure, but has the Jade Spire for now. Extra tough.
I'm not sure they should go for this.
Wow, Pestilence jumps in. They saw the Behemoth. He's already at half life. He's going to die before Shockwave. He goes down, not really doing much in the end. Oogie pops a Primal Surge. He's in the midst of the fight now. Parasite's going to end up falling. Scout trying to do some damage. He's doing some good damage, actually. Going to end up taking out Midas. Goes for Oogie now, but it's not going to be enough. He gets locked down. Double tap for Scout in the midst of that, but not enough. Pestilence, meanwhile, in the background, picks off Monarch. Deadwood going to be the sole survivor, actually. He's off to the side over here, but another 4-for-1. Midas yet again, the only victim, but clearly another dominating victory for Hex here.
Yeah. I was about to say that I don't think this is the right time to fight for them, because they are still lacking the damage. I think they at least need Shield Breaker free. They need to hit a timing where Scout is almost maxed out, and the opposing side only have like three big items on Sulfuris and Anuki, and then they need to fight. But this timing right now, I don't think they have enough damage to win. And Polymorph comes out ahead once again, and now they're in a bigger hole.
Yeah, and exactly that's well, I was gonna get on as well. It's understanding where you're at and really kind of getting those timings set out. You mentioned the level 3 Shield Breaker. That would have made the most sense to maybe then try to make the play like they did right there. But now that they tried before, this is an illusion, by the way. They're using quite a bit. Going to realize pretty quickly that, oh well. Not the longest cooldown, so not a big deal in the end. But that now that they went beforehand, though, and they ended up getting wiped there, now, as you pointed out, they're in even a bigger hole now. They are further behind, so the chances now of ultimately coming out on top are that much less here. Now, still exist, but you're just really making it that much tougher at this point. But yeah, hope at least that he gets the level 3 Shield Breaker, because, I mean, even with the level 1, we did see that there was good damage when he's able to get some of these auto attacks off in the midst of the fights, but
he still needs a couple more items, so he kills people a bit faster. But now they pick up Void Talismans. Voodoo Jester has one, and Midas has one too. So now the Shield Breaker is actually not gonna be that great, because eventually he's gonna need a high grounds to deal with those. Yeah, so things are not looking too good, but it's they can still come back. It's they need to play smart, play a bit safe, and then go for some pickoffs. But Polymorph is doing the right things. They staying close to each other and farming. Not 5 men together at one camp, but kind of they're in the vicinity of each other. So in case anyone gets down, they can spawn.
You know, something that I know the Hellborn team's ahead, so it's not like they're doing this wrong necessarily, but something I would like to see here on the Hellborn side, especially knowing that the biggest chance that Druids is going to have a chance here is this level 3 Shield Breaker, all this physical presence, the big burst from Deadwood. Getting something like a Sacrificial Stone here on this Hellborn side, that or the Plated Greaves, of course. One or the other, so at this point a Sacrificial Stone would be nice to see. Just that much more armor to work with. By the way, they do pick up Behemoth up the top lane, as Lord Sulfuris and Oogie find him, but not necessary, but yeah, it could be nice item to see in addition here.
Yeah, some armor could definitely be good. A Bulwark too. Maybe Voodoo Jester Midas can pick up the Sacrificial Stone for Monarch too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, they don't even have a Soul's Bulwark. You're right. Wasn't even thinking about that one. But Pestilence would be the ideal candidate for that, you'd think. But he's working on that Shrunken still, so understandable there.
Yeah. I think he's gonna get it after the Shrunken hit. But two good pickups there, and now they get a T2 top, and they can pressure the base a little bit here. They don't have to rush things. They can play it safe like they have. They are in a pretty good spot. So yeah, they're gonna TP out.
Not going to risk it. Winning out, they get the gold and experience lead even a little bit further ahead here, so things feeling overall pretty good for Polymorph right now. In game number 1, you got Scout. He's stealing some Ancients over here. Only a single set, but he's level 3 Shield Breaker now. Another 1,600 gold saved up. So, again, when it comes to farming, Teach here, or I believe as we know him by as Ula, is doing very well, continuing to do very well when it comes to farm. So, despite maybe not the biggest success in the last couple of these fights, overall, he's given his team a solid chance in that sense. Now, I just saw an interesting pickup there. So they're doing Congo, by the way, is Hex. However, Legion's coming over, but Voltor's was just purchased by Oogie and delivered. So he's a lot of armor now, potentially, on him as well. So that's going to make it that much more difficult. But here we go with Initiation. Lloyd South 4 is going to be the target. Parasite gets burst, but so down South 4 is minus barely staying alive. Shotgun in the background does catch Oogie as well. Scout not going on him, but there's that Ultors. And look at how tanky he becomes with the Primal Surge. There's just no chance. Scout just melted. Pestilence, I think, applied the Swarm as well, and that had a lot to do with it. Monarch goes down. A hat trick for Chaos Master. The taunts just continue over and over, and this is going to be Congo now on top of it. So, I mean, I want to keep hope alive for Druids, but man, this is now 3 fights here that just have not gone any bit in their direction.
Yeah. I will say this last fight was actually the closest one to succeed for them, because Scout, I mean, almost killed Midas, and he killed the Voodoo, I think, and then almost got the kill on Midas. Had he gotten that one hit off before the Void Talisman, would have been different, because he initiated onto 2 heroes perfectly, and if Scout has seen that a bit earlier, like 1 second earlier, he could have moved over and maybe turned that around a bit. So it was actually pretty close. Had they not been in such a big disadvantage as they are right now, I think that fight would have definitely been theirs. But then again, Polymorph probably would never gone for Roche or for Congo if that was the case.
Yeah, the timing also, I think, of that Ultors getting to Oogie was pretty big, because honestly, I mean, I don't know if he would have died, but Scout was actually putting auto attacks into him when he and then used the Ultors, and then we saw like nothing. Like his life just went up and it didn't go down after that. So I kind of wonder if he didn't get that Ultors maybe 30 seconds later, perhaps he could have died right there. But yeah, that wasn't the case. He had it. Things just lined up perfectly for Polymorph. But yeah, how about that Ultors choice? I mean, obviously in hindsight it does make a lot of sense there, but
it's actually pretty good, because if let's say he absorbs every magic ability on the Legion side, I think he's only going to have a half life, and he needs to be killed from physical. So that's going to keep him safe. From also, if Deadwood jumps in, it takes 1 second to 1.5 before the ulti actually hits you. So if you're quick enough, you can activate that and take no damage. So I like the pickup. It's pretty good, and especially if you see a Shield Breaker free on Scout. I mean, just activate that and go toe-to-toe with him without any concern. So it's a pretty good pickup. Also decreases the attack speed up by 20%, I think it is. So that's actually quite a lot.
Is it 20%? Wow, there's a lot on this thing. Holy crap. Yeah, applies to 20% attack speed. All right, yeah. 900 radius. So, yeah, very solid against somebody like a Scout especially. On top of that, so not your typical item, but one of these kind of niche items, and definitely makes sense here for Oogie in the circumstances. So obviously Hex throwing out the pause right here. Wouldn't assume a strat pause, but
I honestly think that I don't think they're gonna kill Oogie at any point throughout the rest of the game. Jade Spire combined with the Ultras, I don't see them kill him, even if they go 5 on him. They need him sheeped twice or something before he dies. So it's very tough for Legion. Or he needs to mess up, use the Ultras, they bait it, he goes out and then they reinitiate. But I don't see that happening without the rest of the team backing him up and, making it impossible for that scenario to happen.
That's the thing. It's like it's already so difficult to kill him individually, but then it's this is a 5 versus 5 game. It's probably going to be his teammates helping and assisting that cause right there. So yeah, it's not an easy task anymore. I mean, not that it ever really was for Druids, but what was a difficult task before is now near impossible, it feels like. But Gonna stick in there. Again, this is game 1 of our best-of-3 series, so it's gonna see they still have that shot left. And I mean, Scout does continue to farm very well. I would figure that, if anything, is really what's keeping them in this right here. And you know, you get the jump from Deadwood, a level 3 ultimate, catch off guard. They do have a lot of the upfront burst here, so it is a potential, I guess, but not likely. Not likely. So token, by the way, was given to Pestilence. Found that a little interesting. He kind of stayed back and finished Kongor, and then took the token. So I guess it was you're pointing out, though, Oogie's not going to die. So what's the point?
Yeah.
Giving it to him.
I think they can almost give it to Pestilence, or Sulfuris is probably the better choice. Sulfuris does pick up the Bulwark, so Sulfuris is probably the target they want to go for, and then try and ignore Yugi and carry him as much as possible, and then hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, but Pestilence does have the token here.
Dude, the Legion Freys destroyed
They're going to
Hellborn
push
Tower.
in with it now as the top tower goes down of the secondary, that is. Scout and Parasite continuing going to the base, actually. Going to make this a little bit of a race. Now, the level 3 shield breaker, I mean, allows them to push it very quickly. See the racks going down here in that middle lane, but Scout and Parasite, if anything, they're going to trade racks right here, and you got to figure that favors
like
Druids,
this.
actually.
Yeah, it does. It's a pretty smart play. They push very fast. Parasite and Catapult plus and puzzle free. They can go for the bottom side if they want to. There's a tier 2 mid intervening with things. But I think they should just run all the way bottom. That's what they're doing.
This is interesting. I mean, what is a TP? Do they just not have homecoming stones? No, they definitely do. So this is a decision to really kind of do a little bit of a race right here. Pestil's going to jump in the background. Nice job with the Chrysalis, though, preventing the burst happening onto, I believe that was Deadwood at the time. But Scout and Parasite have now ported back. They figure that they weren't going to be able to win this. Deadwood jumps in on Lord's Outforce. That's going to be their target of choice, but it's not enough damage off the bat. Meanwhile, somebody did fall by, I believe, the immediate buyback of Parasite. Another kill happens on a Monarch right there. And now you see in the background, Scout just trying to simply live at this point. I believe he got dusted right there. They're chasing him down, trying to catch him. He goes with the auto attack. It just doesn't matter, though. Scout will fall. He does have a buyback, one of his 2. You'd expect him to have to use it right here, but you see everyone still alive here on the side of Polymorph, including the token on Pestilence. Is still good to go here.
Yep.
So.
He buys back now, and maybe they can go for this.
Oh, 3 shots, Windy Chest in the background, but then he drops the half-life beam with the shockwave. It just doesn't matter, though. Oogie just too strong with the likes of Pestilence and else, and they are also going to be picking off Parasite. Now, they do lose some teammates in the background. Pestilence will fall. But, of course, comes right back up, and that probably helps him in the end. He gets full mana pool now. Behemoth trying to make the juke. We'll get out of there, actually. But now they're just going to focus on the racks here after all that fight that happened. Oh, never mind. They're going to fall back, actually, and let it be done with. Oh, the Deadwood? Oh, man. He's still hanging around. That could have been fun, but no, he's not going to make anything happen. So, I mean, the big picture is, yeah, a couple buybacks, but really the rack situation stays the same, so.
Yeah. I guess I gotta fault the Scout a bit there, because he was, before he bought back once in the initial fight there, he was indecision running between Sulfuris and running between someone, I can't remember who was at the melee racks, but had he gone for Sulfuris right away, he would have died instantly. But then he kind of walked back and forth, and then only hit the Sulfuris twice, and he ran out with 200 HP, so you gotta just go for a target and not be so indecisive as he has been in the last couple fights here. So that's a bit unfortunate. It could have been better for them, but I mean, the big picture they hold, and 1-for-1 racks, actually, I think that's a pretty good scenario. Also against a token and a 20,000 gold experience deficit, so they get the best of that situation. Gotta compliment them for that.
Yeah, no, I definitely with you there. It feels like, considering where we're all at, I mean, Druid's very happy with that outcome, honestly, with how it all worked out. That could have easily been the game right there if things kind of just went for Hex. So the game's still moving on, and for good reason here as far as Druids is concerned, albeit still in a deficit, but it's still enough to stay in there and have a chance. He got Scout, he's got the Slayer here, and so I wonder, is he going to be going to Doombringer here on the all-in, or will he just go to Savage here instead?
I think it's going to be Savage,
okay.
But there is some merit to going the Doombringer, honestly, because you're so far behind. You need to burst them down before they use the Void Talismans and the altars, so just having that extra surprise damage coming out, it could be game-winning as well as game-losing if you die. But again, they need some more time to farm up the Scout. if they can get it.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of doing that right now, but in the meantime, of course, that means the other teams also continue to farm quite a bit. Lord Force, by the way, he's the one that ended up getting the Souls forward. Pestilence actually going to be working on a Frostal Skull now as a follow-up. And it looks like Midas also getting one. Jeez, they're planning on having 3 Frostal Skulls here on Hex's side. That seems a little overkill.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a bit too much. I will say if they're pushing base here, I mean, they do have the Behemoth still. They do have a really good base defense lineup. And could be, honestly, not as over as the stats suggest that fight would be. They can definitely hold and turn.
Well, gonna be having that here, Oogie. The full sheep stick, and does have the Jade Spire on top of that. Gonna pop a Veiled Rod right here, actually. We'll see where Chaos Master ends up with this. He's the only one with it. Headed towards the top lane currently. You got Scout over here walking on by.
Behemoth has 4,000 gold. I think if he can manage to get another 1,000, I think he's gonna go for the rest of Stone and that big ultimate twice.
Oh, Scout realizing that it's seen right there, he's going to be fine. But Parasite's going to be caught, however. Trying to be a little sneaky is kind of what Druids is trying to do for here. But, yeah, Behemoth, a sneaky Resto Stone. That could be a fun item to see here for Druids and one of these catching Hex off guard potential items.
He had a really good Freeman ulti last fight. He has to sit back a while and maybe even bait the Scout to die. But if he gets that big ulti, he can definitely win the fight for them. And he will have the damage. Oh, Mana got caught there.
Wow, really far up, jeez.
Yeah, so some good pickoffs getting it further ahead. And now Scout has to be careful on bottom. Do they actually have a bound eye yet? I don't think they have. Alright.
I don't think they've had a bound eye this whole game, honestly. Which is interesting considering they're going up against the Scout here.
Yeah, but 20-second death on Parasite, 26 on Monarch. Monarch does have to buyback usage hit, but they have a bit of time here to go onto the racks.
Oh, there they go. Going for the melee racks. You see Deadwood setting up with the Rotten Grasp in the background. Catches a couple, but simply trying to delay right here. So basically going to lose the melee racks at this point. Pretty committed to that. Scout now going in, but he gets sheeped right there as he's running in. The Rev Ward spotted them, of course. The Undying's applied. Scout has yet to do any damage to this fight. He finally is able to. Get some damage on Lord Forest right here. Scout is still alive. Pestle shows up. There's a shockwave in the background. It's only one, though. Does another Resto Stone. Scout will fall. He fights back for the second and final time as Behemoth gets killed. But Oogie is still well alive in the midst of this. But here comes Scout once again. The auto attack's working. Again, he's so tanky, though, with that armor, man. Even with the level 3 shield breaker, he could not break through it. And that should do it right here. Hat trick for Trumpsta. It is clean up in the end for Hex. And GG, well played. That should do it for game number 1. Polymorph going to take out Druids here for a 1-0 series lead now here in the loose bracket round 1. So, yeah, I mean, Druids kept fighting, but they could not really just recover from that beginning there.
Yeah, I think they took some bad fights there. I'm a bit sad that Behe didn't sell the tab and bought that Resto Stone there in the end. I think he had the small chance. I mean, they may have still lost the game, but it would have been fun to see. Either way, good plays from Polymorph. They had the better lineup for those early engagements, and they took advantage of it. And King came out ahead, I think 3 times in a row, and then just never lost a lead after that first fight. And they did well. So 1-0 there for Polymorph.
Chaos Master, 11-1 and 12 right there. A nice stat line for him on that Oogie. Only dying once, nearly 700 gold per minute. But again, overall a team effort for sure on the side of Hex right there. So yeah, very good performance on their part. And again, you know, Druids yesterday, like we talked about, got fresh to a game 3, so close to even winning it, lost it in the end. Here they are in the losers bracket as a result. On the other side, Polymorph, they got 2-0'd by Complexity in a fairly efficient